Hello, and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss is alleged and, in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Now, today we're going to talk about the Braxton family and the fact that it feels like that this beautiful family that you see here now, that I will be removing this thumbnail, they are at war. And it's honestly very sad because this is a legendary family, okay? And the fact that they cannot get it together and this family is so toxic. And then on top of that, they decided to take their toxic family to reality TV, which honestly, I think that was a bad move. But if they need the money, I get it. When you're a celebrity, you're always able to make money. So they're just doing what celebrities do, which is use their fame for TV shows, you know, network deals, whatever the case may be. So that's what they're doing. And I don't have a problem with that. But I just wish this family would have done the work before they, decided to go on a reality TV show. Okay. So, one thing that I want to talk about in particular that I happened to catch last night. So I mentioned on yesterday that Trina has had a Monday night cooking show on her YouTube channel for quite some time, probably almost as long as I've been on YouTube, which has been over a year. You know, I noticed right away that Trina had a cooking channel and I was following Trina on her cooking channel, but I don't like the interactions that she has with her husband Vaughn. I get it. Like some men, they're old school, they have this controlling demeanor, and I know it's not just me that sees that in Vaughn because it's gotten better lately. But when they first came out with this cooking show, like they were really eating Vaughn up in the comments. But I think over time, after watching him and how she kind of needs Vaughn, because honestly, she could have done this by herself. She really didn't need Vaughn to do this cooking show, but he can help with the camera, he can help with the prep. So at this point, she needs Vaughn, so she just have to make it work. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I noticed last night that they even have what do you call it? Aprons that says Trina and Vaughn. So at this point, it's a couples cooking show. Now, what I seen last night that was disturbing to me, okay, is the fact that again, Trina has been doing this cooking show every single Monday at 7 o'clock. I always see my notifications come up with Trina doing her cooking show. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is something that Trina Braxton has been doing on a regular basis. Consistently, she has done her cooking show every single Monday at 7 o'clock. So what I noticed last night was that she came on, seems like she was a little bit late, maybe 5, 10 minutes late, something like that, coming on. Maybe she was just working behind the scenes. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we're not quite ready. And, even though it's the time, we might pop in a little bit late. Hey, I am Pink Diva. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for finally catching a live. So, what I noticed was when Trina went live, maybe 7:10, I noticed that Tamar Braxton and Miss E went live and maybe 10 minutes later after Trina went live. And here's my thing, and we're going to get into Tamar and Miss E cooking show that they all have. Okay. It's not a fact of, you know, they copied off of Trina with a cooking show. They have a cooking show that's actually on a network. And again, we'll get a little bit more into that later. It was the fact that Tamar went live 10 minutes after Trina went live for her consistent Monday cooking show that she's been doing for over a year consistently. So, what I took from that is that they were in a little bit of a competition, okay? And I think it's very sad that this family, because now it's not just a competition between Tony and Tamar. This whole entire family is at odds and at war with each other, okay? So Tamar decided, and I thought that was very, very messy, okay? And let me tell you guys something. Whenever I talk about this show, it might seem like I'm flip-flopping, but I'm not flip-flopping. I'm just calling it what it is, what I see at the time. Sometimes it might seem like I'm on Tamar's side. Sometimes it might seem like I'm on Tony's side or whoever's side because I'm just telling the truth. The truth is the truth. So it doesn't matter who it is. I'm just here to put out the truth and my opinion at that moment in time. Okay? Now, before we get into Tamar and Miss E's cooking show, I want to also say something else. So, yesterday I posted a video and it was titled, Who is the Biggest Star? Okay, out of Tamar and Tony. I don't even feel comfortable saying Tamar's name first. Tony and Tamar, because again, Tony is legendary. Okay, I'm never going to take that away from her. We love Tony Braxton. But at the end of the day, how many celebrities have you known that has been on the top and sometimes they can't always stay on the top? Sometimes those saints we want, come up, make it big, hit it big, whatever the case may be, those same people could now be homeless at this point. Like sometimes people don't always stay on the top. So I feel like that's a very valid question because what I am starting to see and why I feel like there's so much animosity between Tamar and Tony is Tamar is out here putting in that damn work, okay? While Tony's over there acting like she's a little princess because at the end of the day, Tamar has a lot of stuff going on right now. And as far as I know, Tony has her residency, in Vegas that she's hoping and wishing that they'll keep adding more shows. But what does Tony have going on outside of that other than marrying men for money and looking like a whole gold digger out here? And I'm just keeping it real. Hey, Paula, thank you so much for being here. So I'm just calling it as I see it. And if you have a different opinion, you have a right to have your opinion. That's totally okay. That's what my channel is all about. Everybody having their own opinion. I'm totally okay with that. But what you're not going to do is keep me from having a healthy dialogue and asking questions and getting feedback because that's what it's about. Like, I can just review this show and talk about exactly what's on the show. I can do that, but I feel like if I do that, then everybody's commentary is going to sound the same. So I want to elaborate on things that are happening on the show as well as things that are happening off the show. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to elaborate on some things, okay? So again, if Tony doesn't do anything else, you know, she's a star, okay? But what we also found out was when Tamar and Vince initial show, the one that had Tracy, um, we learned that Tamar was a breakout star. Okay. Tamar took over that show. She was the star in that show. And I'm just keeping it real. And some people feel like Tamar has a better voice than Tony. Yes, Tony is a celebrity. And the fact that she had five sisters that could also sing, that made them, a group which we love groups because when you got an entire family that's talented and can sing, we love to see it. But at the end of the day, we moved on from that. We're talking about the here and the now. Okay. So this is why I feel like that there's a little bit of competition when it comes to the cooking situation between this family. And let me just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen, and I'm just going to let you guys know what Tamar and Miss E got going on. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be ongoing. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to come on Wednesdays, 9 specific, and 8 central. But Tamar and her mom, they have a cooking show, and it's called Tamar and Miss Evelyn Cooking. It's called, wait a minute, let me get it right. It's called Sessions with Tamar and Miss E. Okay, and it's on the Clio TV network. And there are several ways you can watch it. You can watch it live, you can watch it on demand, you can watch it on the Clio TV app, streaming or DVR. Okay, so they actually had a premiere party in Atlanta, and this is the premiere party. And that premiere party was actually on March 12th of this year. Okay. So let me tell you several things that I like about Tamar. I like the fact that Tamar is also, she's not a selfish person. Tamar is also trying to help Miss E make money and earn her own money. Yes, she can take care of her mom, which is obvious that that's what she's doing right now because Miss E does live with Tamar. But she's also trying to help her mom make her own money because there's nothing like having your own money. Nobody wants to live off of somebody else. And her mom is at an age that she's not going to be able to just walk into somebody's job and get a job. Not only that, she's a famous mom. So at this point, either her kids got to step up to take care of her or they got to help her to make her own money. So that's what Tamar is doing here. And if we're keeping it real, even though a lot of people like to say that Tony is a star, again, Tamar and Vince is the one that pitched the initial show to We TV for the family, Braxton Family Values. And Tamar is also getting executive producer rights on this show. And Tamar came back as a full-time cast member of this show because she started out being a friend of the show because she was just trying to protect her mental health. Okay. So she came back because one, she wanted to help her family continue to get this money. And it's obvious that they need her. Like this show is not going to be as successful if Tamar is not on this show. Okay. Let's just start there. And on top of that, if she's involved, she can get other people involved, like her niece Ashley. She can help Ashley get a bag on the show and bring more attention to Ashley telling her story, whatever the case may be. So, this was a great opportunity for Tamar and her mom because if we're keeping it real, Tamar is not really the cook. She's just opening up the door for her mom to have more opportunities because her mom, when she was raising her kids as a single parent in Maryland, obviously, she did most of the cooking. So even last night when they went live, they cooked some dish. Don't ask me the name of it. I've never heard of it before, but it was supposed to be a Maryland dish. And a lot of people were familiar, and that's what they cooked live. They were not there long. They cooked it. They got off, and Tamar said something else about going live with her son. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys the pictures. And I also wanted to let you guys know the reason why I feel like that there is a competition. Hey, Mama Bees, thank you so much for being here. Is because the word on the streets is that when Tamar and Miss E had their premiere um, opening in Atlanta, none of the other sisters came, nobody showed up. I'm sure it was just friends, whatever the case may be. And I get it. Y'all don't like Tamar, but I think that was a time for y'all to put y'all differences aside to at least go and support your mother. For her to want to be on any show at her age, like that's a really big deal. So these women are so bitter and they dislike Tamar so much that they chose not to even show up to, support their mom. And I think that sucks. So this is the people, that put on the show. And the lady in the pink in the middle, she's the CEO. And she actually sat down with Tamar. That's her right there. Michelle Rice. And she actually sat down with Tamar and her mom to ask them questions and things like that. Here they go. They had a Q&A session, and it was moderated by the network president, Michelle Rice, the one here in pink. So, guys, and they got their flowers, and I guarantee you, if those sisters would have been there, guys, you would have seen. I had already heard. I just found this article, but I had already heard that none of the sisters showed up for Miss E. But now, to me, this confirms that they weren't there, because if they were there, they would have been in the pictures. Okay. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. So at this point, I feel like they came live last night at the same time that they knew that Trina was going to be live, because at this point, even Miss E is feeling some kind of way. She's feeling salty that her daughters didn't think it was important enough for them to come and support her. And that's I talked about that yesterday. They're really not very supportive of each other. Like we seen on the first episode. Now we don't know how episode 2, 3, and 4 are going to play out, but we did see on the episode that Tawanda was basically begging Tony to show up, to her bachelorette's party or whatever the case may be. And the thing about Tony, a lot of times you don't find out that she's not actually going to show up until the very last minute. And like I also said yesterday, in the last season, we seen Tony riding around in her car a lot instead of showing up to be on the show and film with her sisters. And it's almost like Tony thinks she's too good for this show. Okay, Tony, if you think you're too good for this show, why are you on the show? It's not like you're giving anything anyway. We haven't seen anything recently about your relationship with Birdman. And I also let you guys know on yesterday that Birdman's income is supposed to double in 2026. So allegedly, the reason why Tony took back the divorce is because she's going to wait and file again so that she'll have access to his $40 million instead of $20 million. That's the word on the curb. I don't know how true it is, but that's the word on the curb. So there's a lot going on with this family. And, I just really don't think that this was a good time for them to do reality TV. Now, if they're going to actually show their real life, okay, let's do it. But if you're going to pick and choose, what you're going to show, and if we're going to continue to see Tony just driving around in her car, just letting everybody know that she can't make it to their events, like, no, Tony needs to give more of her real life. whether that's clips of her shows in Vegas with said the entertainer, whether that's her relationship or lack thereof with Birdman. Like, we really need to see more of Tony. Now, she had this boring little scene where she was talking to a producer about this idea that she wants to pitch to a network. And to me, she didn't put any thought process into that scene. It was just something she see that her sisters, because even Tawanda is out here in her acting and directing bag. So it's really looking like, I know that Tony has lupus. I know that she's sickly, but it's looking like everybody else is out here working hard as hell while Tony is skating by and using the fact that she's the superstar of the family, but not actually putting in the work. That's what I'm saying. So now, all of a sudden she wants to get into directing or whatever because she see that Tawanda is out here doing the damn thing. She see that, Tamar is putting out new music. Tamar has this cooking show with her mom. Tamar has another show on another network that she does by herself. Like, Tamar is out here getting to the bag. Okay. She has a lot to celebrate and a lot to be thankful for. So now it's not just Tony who is the superstar of the family. Tamar is giving Tony a run for her money. And I feel like they're in competition to prove who's making the most money in the family. Even Tony admitted that she's always been the one to take care of her mom, but Tamar was the only one out of all the sisters who stepped up to help her to take care of her mom. So now that has shifted, and now I feel like, or it appears to me, that Tamar has to decided to, let her mom move in, and now she's taking care of her mom, and she's also helping her mom, make her own money. So yes, Tamar got a lot of shit going on. She's manic at times. Like I said, she's always said that she will probably need, to see a therapist for the rest of her life, but she's still doing the work. Like, a lot of what Tamar does, she's reacting to things that other people have done to her behind the scenes, the stuff that we don't see. And those sisters, they really do be playing in Tamar's face. And if we're keeping it real, Tamar is the one that gave this family an opportunity to even have a reality TV show. That's why she was so upset when she was being played and she almost wanted to unalive herself because she's the one that initiated for this family to even have a reality TV show. And I'm really going to need, I mean, it's bad enough what Tamar has to deal with from the public. But when you got to deal with that from your family who was never even there to support you when she came to her family about the essay that she had experienced, they were never there for her. So at the end of the day, yes, Tamar is a drama queen. We all see it, we all know it, we all get it. But at the same time, I believe out of that family, Tamar has the sweetest heart. I really feel that she loves her son, she loves her mom, you know what I'm saying? And Tamar shows up for the people that show up for her. And that's just what it is. And again, when Tamar came out as the breakout star in the Braxton family values, I feel like everything ever since then, Tamar has been a target for her family. And I know my opinion is not going to be everybody's opinion. And I know that sometimes I see things differently than everybody else. Everybody has their own opinion. But at the end of the day, and another thing I want to say is that Tamar has continued to say that she can't chew. Like when they were making their meal last night, Miss E, when they were cooking, Tamar was very limited to what she could eat. And she kept saying, I can't chew, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. So something really did happen to Tamar physically. Whether she lost 4 teeth, whether she lost 1 teeth, whether she broke her nose, we still don't know the real facts of that. But I honestly feel like whether she got into a fight, something happened, something physical happened to Tamar. And even the way that Tamar looked on that live, guys, I want you guys to go and watch that live, okay? The way she even looked, let me go ahead and pull that up real quick before I get out of here. Tamar looks like she's been through something recently. She definitely looks like, she's been sick, she's lost weight. So something did happen. I'm trying to pull it up. And when I was watching my notifications, they literally went live 10 minutes apart. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, if it was a random person, okay, fine. But your sibling, you chose to go live at the same time as your sibling. Yeah, I thought that was a little strange. Okay. Video is how to make real Baltimore yak, whatever that is. If you're from Baltimore, maybe you know what that is. And I'm really just showing you guys this because I want y'all to
my phone. I got my other phone. Can y'all see us? Or is it jacked up for y'all too? Is that jacked up on y'all end? I think it is.
You might not be able to see her up close and personal, but Tamar definitely looked like she's been in the hospital. She just doesn't look the same. So that makes me feel like something did happen to Tamar.
Can y'all see us? Y'all, I dropped my phone. I'm trying to log in on my other phone. Can y'all see us good? No, it's not that. I dropped my phone and just
You can tell that she decided to go live at the last minute.
Is it bad the way y'all can see us? It's a lot of halos. It is. I can see a halo. Halo. Hold on, let me see if I can log into my phone. Yeah, my mother in the kitchen too. Hold on, here we go. Okay.
Let me fast forward it.
First, mommy's going to. She's boiling some eggs. Everybody know I don't eat no eggs. Y'all know I don't do that.
Look at Tamar's
I don't
face,
play with no
guys.
eggs. So she got some
Look
eggs
at
in
Tamar's
here.
face.
4 eggs.
4. And then she about to. I can't chew yet, so I can't chew the shrimp. But
And Mama B says it's a black version of a Chinese. Yeah, Mama Bees, you wouldn't know about it. You're from that area. It's a black version of a Chinese dish, noodles, chicken broth, boiled egg, soy sauce, and onion. Yes, and they actually added ketchup in theirs as well. And then Mama E had shrimp with hers. Tamar can't chew shrimp right now. That was said on the live.
we found some old shrimp that was in the freezer. Don't talk about it. It might be freezer burn, but praise God, we're gonna eat her anyway. Rinse her off. She was freezer burn when you bought her.
Hey, Queen says, thank you so much for being here. She says, hello,
Let me
being
tell
here.
you, what we think is missing. So we saw the recipe and it was just like soy sauce, dark soy sauce, onions, and that's all that, and ketchup. We like ketchup on ours. You like ketchup on yours, Mom?
You know I do.
Well, you know it's a preference. The people like, some people like ketchup, people like.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do shrimp yakka meat, but we're gonna do it the way we think they did it back in the day, and we're gonna start with our what's the name of it, Mommy? The egg foo young.
Yeah. You want egg foo
No,
young?
we're gonna make it start it off with the egg foo young gravy and then build.
Oh, okay. We can
Build
do that.
on
Oh,
that.
shrimp,
Uh-huh.
chicken, or beef.
We're gonna do
Got
it
it.
mommy's way. How about that?
So we got the eggs here. Ain't she cute, y'all? She's so cute. And then we
I'm
could
gonna
not find the udon noodles, but I did go to the Chinese grocery store. I should have said Asian grocery store, and I found these. Now, when you look at them, they kind of look the same, but the point is that they fresh. So you can use any kind of noodles you want. I wouldn't recommend you using spaghetti noodles. What do you think, Mommy?
Well, we used to use spaghetti.
Oh, you did?
The thicker one.
The
Sure
thicker ones.
did.
Oh, well, these, you think these are just as thick?
Well, yeah, they're just as thick. We can still use that.
Okay. All right, so I'm.
So if you guys can see Tamar's face, you can tell that she could have possibly had surgery on her nose because those lines on the side of on each side of her nose look like she could have potentially had some surgery on her nose or after, she said that there was an issue with her nose. And Mama Bees also said, I never heard of the ketchup. Oh, yes. I when they started adding the ketchup, I'm like, "Ugh." That's when they lost me, Mama Bees. I'm gonna keep it real. And Miss E likes a lot of ketchup on hers. Tamar likes more of the gravy aspect of it, but Miss E likes a lot of ketchup. Yeah. So guys, I really just wanted to show you guys this video just to again let you know that this family is at war behind the scenes. They're at war when it comes to Tony and Tamar, trying to prove who's the bigger star in the family. There's a war between, Miss E and her daughters because they're not supporting her with her cooking show. So Miss E and Tamar decided to go live at the same exact time that Trina has been going live on a consistent basis for over a year. Trina and her husband has the Trina and Vaughn show, cooking show. So they are definitely in a competition, and that sucks for them because I think that they should be able to support each other in all of their endeavors, especially when it comes to mom. If the sisters want to be, okay, fine. Me and my sisters be, that's not a big deal. But if the sisters want to be, that's all fine. But when it comes to mom, no, we need to show up for mom, especially at her age. Because mom has already missed out on so much of her, her life being a single parent, of 6 kids and having to put her career on the side to raise these kids. And for a long time, yes, she was able to vicariously live, through her kids. But, she deserves to have a life and something that she can be proud of herself for as well. And that's what Tamar is trying to give her mom. So shout out to Tamar for that. I've done the same things for my mom. So I get it. And everybody's opinion come from their life experiences, their culture, their surround everything. Every aspect of your life makes you into the person that you are. So that's how your opinion is formed. So everybody's opinion is not going to be the same. So guys, on that note, I am going to end this video. And if you get the opportunity, and if you can stand to watch Trina's old school husband, go over there and check out her YouTube channel as well. I still love all the sisters, okay? I'm going to always love all the sisters. So there's no, favorite here. I'm just speaking my truth and giving you guys my opinion. I love all the sisters. So, if you have the opportunity, go over there and check out Trina's YouTube channel where her and her husband have a, cooking show. And if you can locate Miss E's and Tamar's cooking show on Clio TV, you can go and support them as well. And then you can also support Tamar's YouTube channel as well. One thing about Tamar, she's very authentic and she's very transparent. And a lot of times, especially in the climate that we're in right now, people love transparency. We don't like fake shit. We can watch, fake reality TV on every other channel. We see that all the time. But for me, I like real and authentic people. The fact that Tamar can come live without any makeup on, that just makes me love her even more. okay? Because she's being her true and authentic self, something that Tony Braxton will never be. That doesn't make me love Tony any less, but I'm just keeping it real. So guys, again, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and drop down in the comment section so that we can keep this conversation going. And I love asking questions, so that way it stimulates feedback in the comment sections, whether it's good or bad. So guys, let me know in the comments if you think that this family is at war behind the scenes. Is it Tamar against her three sisters? Is it Tamar and Miss E against all the other sisters? What do you think is going on behind the scenes? Drop down in the comments and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye for now. Happy early birthday, Mama Bees. I hope I'll be able to see you on tomorrow. But if not, happy birthday.